Okay, Super Bowl. Let's look at the lineups.
Madden Football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bills and the Falcons, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Buffalo Bills taking on the champions from the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, the Bills have been a team trending upwards the last few years. They did take a couple of devastating losses to KC in the playoffs the last two seasons, but here they are seeking that elusive first ever Super Bowl title.
And remember the history of this franchise, partner. They had been there 4 times in the 90s. Super Bowls 25, 26, 27, 28 without a victory. Somewhere, their quarterback, Jim Kelly, their runner, Thurman Thomas, their head coach, Marv Levy, they have to be smiling watching this team go for their first Super Bowl title.
Meanwhile, wasn't too long ago that the Atlanta Falcons were in the Super Bowl, and that's one that Falcon fans want to forget, 2017 Super Bowl 51. But now they're back in the big game for the third time in franchise history.
And there's no way we can get to this game without remembering a few of those details of that last Super Bowl appearance. They were up 28-3. Ended up losing in overtime to New England. Give them a ton of credit for putting that game behind them, getting back to the Super Bowl so soon. That shows a lot of character for this franchise.
Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
Truly the face of this Buffalo franchise and totally immersed with the Buffalo community. Josh Allen understands what the Buffalo Bills fans are looking for. That elusive first Super Bowl trophy. And he has the opportunity to bring it home through his talents.
Allen going to go to the air right away. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, it's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support. And I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Uncorks one for Davis. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And you'd think on third down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result, because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Yeah, and the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air. A chance for the first points of this Super Bowl. It's first and goal. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Now Allen again. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Falcons grab it. Accelerating, and off he goes. 30, past the 20. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
Point after try forthcoming. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bills ready to take over. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Throwing the out route, and Crowder makes the catch. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 44-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Allen. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. To the air, Allen. It's caught at the 10. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. He'll get 34 yards there.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there. And almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Allen going to throw. And he'll get this. And the ball is knocked out. And the Falcons grab it.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. So a long field ahead for the Falcon offense as they head out. And they'll be led out by Marcus Mariota, former 2nd overall pick back in 2015, now in his 8th season in the league.
And I think we were all wondering if Mariota would get another shot to be a starter after spending a couple seasons as a backup with the Raiders. Atlanta offered him that opportunity and allowed him to play some of the best ball of his career, and he has the Falcons on the verge of a Super Bowl title.
Mariota now after the fumble recovery. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Play fake. Mariota. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
And he will have the 1st down as he's up to his 17-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team the best chance to win.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mariota. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
To throw is Mariota. He's got his pass catching. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Well, let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit that sack to D'Angelo Malone.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. On play action, Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Second down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They run here with Singletary. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit, and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. Now Allen. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bit a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal, there's a huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, They were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them out of the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them.
Following the interception here, Mariota. And complete to Drake London. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That good for 19 and a first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 7-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Patterson again. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 41, Mariota into the hands of London. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run with Patterson. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A right side run with Patterson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From just shy of midfield, Mariota. And it's a fumble. Defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out out there, but it'll be third down.
I'm looking at this one by defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Off the play fake, Mariota. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They'll throw again, Mariota. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
On third down, Mariota. And that would be incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Bring out the Falcons offense once more. Cordero Patterson ready to go again at running back. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. A first down throw for Mariota. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Out of the gun, a run with Patterson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third down, here's Patterson. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one.
Again, Patterson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. Rolling to his right. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes. You can read his hands. And you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it. And oftentimes, knock it away.
Pulled in at the 24. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Allen. Uncorks one for Davis. And got his man complete. A big play here for Buffalo. 62 yards. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Allen. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bills are on the board here in this Super Bowl. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call, quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Patterson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 73 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Mariota. Now the ball comes loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Here's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Davis. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 1st down, Allen. Eluding the pressure right. Going for it all. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
And meanwhile, Allen's and a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort?
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. To the air, Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On second and goal, Allen forced out to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Dancing to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Bass is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Buffalo in that first half. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. Taken at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And through one half at least, this Super Bowl has been everything it was cracked up to be. All tied. What's your key for them, Charles, in the second half?
Simplicity, partner, because in the Super Bowl, with the extra time at halftime, I think some staffs get caught up in trying to design too many things. It's all tied up. They have to remember what they did to get here, put that back into play here in the second half, and I think they'll be all right.
79 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he's got room. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
First and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A handoff for Patterson. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 38. Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Mariota now. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for first and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Right back to Davis. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's first and 10. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, To watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turned the ball over. Terrible.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
Well, so much for being backed up against their goal line to start the drive. He gave some breathing room and then some. I think the defense really got caught thinking safety, trying to stack the line of scrimmage. And oftentimes, if you can get past the initial grouping, there's a lot of room to run. The defense actually fortunate that didn't go farther.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes.
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Here's Damiere Byrd to return from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football, just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points. That doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
123 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. take over 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. Throwing to start the drive. Allen flushed out right. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A give up the middle to Singletary. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And some room to work. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 19-yard line. 34 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And Diggs has it. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Second and 7. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This one caught by Crowder. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A gain of 3 last play this time. Pick up 6. Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. His pass caught at the 4. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Throwing now is Allen. And he wisely will throw that one away. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Bills are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Falcons back out getting set for this next drive. And we're at the time of this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. To throw, Mariota. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time, worked well for a solid gain.
Mariota's throw taken in by London. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here and get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
They'll give it to Patterson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. To throw is Mariota. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 39. A good pickup there on 20 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Mariota so nimble, sliding to the ground with a first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Patterson running between the tackles. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 133 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's the option, running right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And it's caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Cordell Patterson from 4 yards out. And the Falcons have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
And he will get into the end zone as a two-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. Kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And here come the Bills. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game. Fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen steps away to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Allen now looks to throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Allen going to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Davis. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. Now Allen. And it's complete. He dials up Davis once more. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. He's got the hookup with Diggs. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 30. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Patterson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a first down in field goal range already. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Out of the gun, a run with Patterson. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. Here's Patterson again. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Mariota. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. He's going to keep this again. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Now there's the timeout, signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
Well, the Falcons have to be thinking, here we go again. But this time they'll get the ball first here in overtime as this Super Bowl is back underway. Bird will return from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially. So a net gain of 1 there. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And, CD, we get to see the debut of the brand-new postseason overtime rules. Now, as everybody is learning, both teams are going to be guaranteed an offensive possession. So they might get the ball first here, but a touchdown does not right away win the game.
And we saw many marker games along the way that sparked a lot of conversation. But the Buffalo-Kansas City game, the 2022 playoffs, that really brought about this rule change. What an amazing game, a true classic. Ended in overtime without Buffalo getting a shot with the football, and the people didn't like that at all. So starting this season, if you make the playoffs, you'll get a chance to answer if the other team scores first. And that way, you get a chance to keep a great game as well as your hopes alive as you chase the big prize. But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. They'll run with Patterson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That one goes for 8 yards. A nice start for them here to overtime. And maybe the plan here is don't do anything too crazy. Don't try for some big play, Charles. Just move the chains, put the pressure on the defense.
Well, these early first downs are certainly nice confidence builders as they begin overtime, because even though you've just played 4 quarters, the feeling's entirely different when you take the field in OT, because you just want to settle in, as you suggested, keep the ball moving, and rely on your opponent to make that first big mistake.
A touchdown would obviously be ideal to start this overtime. They'd still need to play defense, but it's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Patterson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get, so he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body. For slippers and bedtime pills, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the West.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota. And his throw is incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 4th down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance. You got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
They'll go. It's Patterson, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bills are going to get the football back. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Singletary to get the drive started. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. They go right back to Singletary. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Next to Rashad Evans' name, you can put a tally for a tackle for loss. Really excellent effort on the defensive side of the football. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
What can Allen do now with his drive? Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st? They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Drop behind the line on a nice play by Deion Jones.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Allen. And it's caught. Touchdown. They win the Super Bowl. CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat. And there he is again already, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
And these Bills make the 90s seem like a distant memory. Buffalo is the Super Bowl champion. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.